Oh, got a mouthful of burger.
Burger.
Have a mouthful of burger. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. Delayed from last week because I was enjoying myself at Alton Towers.
I'm glad you added that bit.
Yeah. My wife wasn't. She had to do a 10K run. So, yeah, that wasn't fun. This week I'll be joined by Keith. Mostly.
Hi.
Until one of our internet craps out, because that's the way internet's running at the moment. Yeah. For me, I'm having my house is being altered, so it probably that caused my thing. For Keith, bird sitting on a wire. I don't mean like a woman.
Leaves on the line, mate. Leaves on the line.
Leaves on the line. Yeah, that's it. So I watched Black Panther this morning.
You poor bastard.
I haven't quite caught up on Andor. I haven't watched 1799 or 1899.
I've only just started what I'm watching. I'm literally halfway through the first episode. But that's from the creators of The Dark, which you got me into. And this is equally as fucked up. What the fuck is going on? Weird shit.
But the thing with Dark is it told me the following: if I go back and have sex with anyone, they're going to give birth. Pretty much guaranteed way getting pregnant. That's what I learned from Dark. Also, titles, ominous music plays. If you watch it with the subtitles, it just comes up as ominous music plays. All fun and games.
There's a lot of ominous music in this. The ship is weird because it's all black. Now, funny enough, I've been building a model of the Titanic and I just finished it yesterday. It's huge. Right, so I learned a little bit about ships, right? So this ship's a bit... The fact that the ship's top deck is all black, very strange because they're always painted white. So this is all very weird. But the one thing I will say is that everything is virtual in it. The sets are virtual. You don't know it. It looks that good. You would swear blindly they're in a real set. So the new LED technology that they're using is quite incredible. I believe they're using an Unreal Engine with it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that Sony brought it big into Unreal is the fact that they can do all this stuff. Don't you find it weird that in the last couple of years we've been talking about German science fiction? I know this is the funny thing. There's lots of French science fiction, mostly comic books, but German science fiction has been quite lacking. But recently we've had we had Dark, Tribes of Europa, and this. And you're saying this sounds quite good
as well. That was quite good.
Okay,
that might get another series. I don't
know. Warrior Nun's back apparently.
Yes, I've watched it.
I can have a good ogle at the lead actress in that for a bit.
It helps. It's a bit wokey woke, but it's not all bad. It needs a third season, and I'm worried it's not going to get it. But it passed the time. This is why I haven't caught up with the peripheral yet. I've been trying to catch up with everything else. Yes, been busy.
I'm still behind on Andor. I watched something called Night Books from last year, September, starring what's a mush from Jessica Jones, Christine Ritter.
Oh yeah.
I watched that, which felt very COVID for characters and for sets. COVID. That was okay. I enjoyed it. Wasn't great, but it was. I didn't feel like I wasted my time, shall we say?
The last episode of Andor, the last 10 minutes, is pretty fucking sweet, actually. There is a confrontation with a type of Star Destroyer that we haven't seen in live action. We've seen it in the cartoon. It was funny enough. It was a concept design for a Star Destroyer that they never used, but then brought back in the comics and the Clone War Rebels cartoons. It's kind of epic, and there's a battle, and again, it's kind of epic. So really, I quite enjoyed the latest episode of Andor. I think I know exactly where this is going. And I can't wait for the second season because I think the second season is going to be really fucking good, actually. It's competent. the characters have. I care about these people, you know, and that's the thing. I care about these people. So, or I care about some of them. I think others are complete and utter bastards. But that's what you're meant to think. So I genuinely think this is good. I think the people that are slating it haven't watched it, or they just
jaded.
They're jaded. Much.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what? I completely understand that, being jaded when it comes to Andor and that, because think about it, all Star Wars TV shows have been pretty either average, spectacularly average, disappointing, more disappointing. And what the fuck was that? Kind of. And this is the one that's actually made by someone who wants to make a TV show.
Do you know, it's funny, the spectacularly average stuff was out of Dave Filoni, right? And I realized that everything that we've liked recently, we liked Clone Wars Season 7, but that was written under Lucas, right? The Star Wars Jedi Tales, which was fucking excellent, right? Mostly the Count Dooku sort of origin story, written under Lucas.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll be honest with you. I've been catching up. I wanted to catch up with Andor before I watched that.
Actually, when I'm watching this, I'm going, do you know, this is the actual first Disney Star Wars that's good that Lucas hasn't had anything to do with. And I like Andor. I'm going to put it out there. I'm enjoying Andor. I thought the scene with Luthen this week with Sol Guerrero was just fucking amazing. Really powerful scene. And it makes you have a sympathy for Sol Guerrero if you hadn't seen the Clone Wars. And if you've seen the Clone Wars and Rebels, you'd potentially understand a bit more about Sol Guerrero's background. But this, again, you know, two very good actors acting something that was competently written. So, and we should say that, like, you know, we say that like we're shocked and surprised. That's because we are, because when it comes to fucking Star Wars, you know, you've still got Rian Johnson going, oh, I'm going to write my trilogy. If I was Disney Lucasfilm, I'd be like, put a fucking gag on that dickhead.
Yeah, I would. I would sit there and say, no, you've cost us God knows how much money.
So Disney, look at Warner Brothers. Look what's happening.
No, you have
how much money Warner Brothers are about to fucking make.
Well, when Warner Brothers is making it and everyone else is losing it, then that's when things will happen. But they still got to go through the whole rigmarole of doing it. Anyway, I want to talk about the film that I watched this morning.
How bad?
How bad? I would describe it out of 10, 3.
That's higher than what a lot of people have given it.
Okay, it's 3. It's bookended nicely. It's bookended nicely. A few things. I didn't stay for the end credit scene. I had a choice. I could stay and watch the end credit scene, or go rowing for 30 minutes. I went rowing for 30 minutes.
You don't know what the end credit scene is? Or...
I don't care.
Okay.
I hate that shit. It now grates on me because I'm not interested. You've lost me. I do not want to. I'm not hanging around for that. It's like, oh yeah, but I got to see Spider-Man do a backflip. Oh yeah, I'll watch a cartoon. So yeah, I watched it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. I'm looking at it going, all right. So you want to have an alliance with a group of people, so you attack them. What? And you kill their leader. Why? Oh yeah, because they'll come to our aid. Yeah, you killed their fucking leader, the person who's now in charge. You killed her mother. You've got that. There's some bits in it that make me feel really awkward. The Dora Milaje. They need to fucking scale them back down to people. Yeah,
not that bad.
Because they have this bit at the beginning where it's a year later after Black Panther's died, and they're in the UN, And the Queen of Wakanda turns up, and it's like they're supposed to be the most powerful nation in the world. I look at that nation, it's like kind of, dude, I can take you out with 4 well-placed nukes. Yeah, you haven't got an army. You can sit there and think all you want, but when you're fucking boiling at 40,000 degrees, your fucking vibranium's gonna do bugger all for you. It'll take the shield out too. So I've figured it all out. I can take him out. I'm Doctor Doom in the thing. You know, I'm wearing my Slytherin top today. But yeah, ambitious, cunning, and pride. But yeah, so it starts off. The French attack a Wakandan thing in Mali, because naturally Wakanda doesn't want to help their neighbors in Africa who are starving or who are at war with each other. Yeah, they want that. They'll call you a colonizer, but they won't fix their fucking neighbors. Yeah,
but that's how this first movie ended, with Wakanda opening up. So, you know, we completely just rolled back on the first movie. Is that what we're doing?
That's how it starts off. You said you'd open up. You said you share technology. You do this, that, the other, and then she's like, "Oh, my son died," and blah blah blah. Angelica. I can't remember the actress's name. She does a good job. She sells the Queen character. She has a go at them and says, "Oh, the French attacked our facility to try and steal vibranium," and it's like you then cuts to like special forces going in there to try and get the vibranium out, and then open up the doors, and then you got Dora Milaje. Now, Deadpool did this correct. Yeah, there's a bit in Deadpool where he is fighting Cable on the back of the prison thing, and he's waving his swords to block the bullets. Yeah, and they're just missing, and it's just bullets are passing through him, but it doesn't bother him because they do exactly the same, but without the humor and without the bullets actually hitting them, which makes him come across as a bit superhuman. So instead of doing the sensible thing, which I would have done, I would have had it. They would have opened it up, and it would have just been an empty cupboard. And then they'd put their heads in there. It goes, it's empty. And then they'd have turned around, and they would have been behind them. Yeah? And then take them out. So that happens, and then they make them fucking bend the knee like BLM style in front of the UN with these French soldiers. That made me just want to fucking curl up into a ball. Didn't like that at all. Then it cuts back to Wakanda. They're trying to sort out. You've got Shuri, and she's been trying to figure out how to get the heart-shaped herb back. And she's going through all this stuff, and she's learning this thing. And then Namor, she's doing all this stuff, and then her mum tells her, "Come with me. We're going to go on a walkabout, and we're going to go down to this river, and we're going to burn our ceremonial garbs because he's been dead for a year. Mourning process is now over. We need to get back on with shit." So they go down to the thing and they burn it, and then Namor comes out the water, and he turns around and says, "You need to help us because the fucking Americans, anyone, I can't remember what he says. He's so forgettable. I'm sorry, the guy who plays him, he's such a forgettable fucking actor." And the wings on his feet, yeah, instead of it just flying around and just having wings on his feet, they flap like they're giving him propulsion.
Wow.
Which grates on me. If it was like he was creating like a field or something and then flying around, or it just happens, but the wings are actually giving him little tiny bird wings designed to keep up a sparrow attached to his ankles, apparently keeping this guy up. And he returns and goes, "Oh, the Americans they found vibranium in the water. We need you to stop the scientist who built them the vibranium detector." Gents, mate, they know where it is. It's on their radar. They can send a fucking fleet there. They can send a couple of aircraft carriers down there. You is fucked. Yeah, it's done. It's done. The cat is out the bag. The tube is out the toothpaste. The egg has been fried. It cannot be unfucked. That's the truth. It cannot be unfucked. All right. So it's like, no, we have to kill the scientist who made the vibranium detector. The long and the short of it is, you made one vibranium detector, you can make another and another, and someone else can make another. Nuclear weapons are a prime example. The Americans made them, we made them, the Russians made them, the French made them, everybody made them when they figured it out. They were smart enough and had enough money and time and resources and whatnot. So it's like, "Oh no, you need to come to it." And then these guys have managed to sneak up on the beach and drop the thing down. And they're like, "Oh, how did they get here?" And it's like kind of, then there's arguments, and you've got the guy who plays. This is the one I feel quite uncomfortable watching. He plays like the gorilla dude.
Yeah.
And this is the one that makes me just go, ooh, because he goes, ooh, and he behaves like a gorilla. I'm like, oh, isn't that like a bit insensitive? Isn't that a bit wrong? He points out the obvious. He goes, one, points at what's the Michonne from Walking Dead and says, "You're in charge of security. They got in. If we were in charge of security, they wouldn't have got in. And last time anything like this happened was you sided with Killmonger and we didn't." And he's absolutely fucking right. Yeah, we didn't side with him. We fucked off back up to the hills and said, "No, we're not having this shit," which is fine. Yeah. Anyway, they decide to go and track down this creator, and it's Riri Williams, and fuck me, she is obnoxious. They cast someone who you just want to fucking backhand. Oh, my first invention I created when I was 3. No, you fucking didn't. You're barely playing with Legos when 3. If you said 8, I would have believed you. But for some reason, they wanted to make it out. You've barely started walking. You've barely started talking. No. You say 8, I would believe you. Yeah. And then it's like she's got a dad's car, and then they could have cut into the fact that she worked on the dad's car and stuff like that. Kind of flashbacks, made it a bit more emotive. No. She dumpster dives like Peter Parker because they've ripped that off from fucking Spider-Man. She's doing other people's homework, and the first time you see her, yeah, to try and sell you the character, yeah, she goes to a guy who she's done his homework for $800, and she wants the money. That says a lot about that character.
Yeah, it does.
That's not how you want to open it. If you want to open it, yeah, she rescues a fucking kitten while she's dumpster diving. She's trying to find components. She rescues the kitten. That's what you want. That's what kind of hero sort of thing. But no, we can't have that. So we got that which made her obnoxious from the offset. A cat from a tree, something to make, her kind of go with you. So that was, I didn't like that. They then do that thing where they tell you about the character rather than show you the character, which Michonne and Letitia Jackson, I think her name is, I can't remember the characters' names. That's how fucking impactful this film was on me. So they go to Riri Williams' apartment and they say, "Hey, you're coming with us, like it or not, because we got some people, or you got these fish people, yeah, and the fish people gonna get you. If you think we're bad, fish people gonna get you, all right?" So instead of like showing them a video or something, they don't. So they go to rendition her. Yeah, I like it because if the US does it, or Britain does it, or one of the Western, it's bad. But when Canada does, it's fine. So they then try and take her. She takes them back to a little workshop. She shows them in the workshop. She has a car that she's working with her dad and whatnot, and shows you like her designs for the Iron Man costume, the cheap knockoff Iron Man costume. That's what I'm going to call it.
I've seen pictures of it.
If she was like, I could make this if only I had some palladium. That would be the thing. I just need some palladium. I'm saving up for 1.6 grams of palladium. It's, $70,000. If she was just like, you pay me $70,000, I'll fucking come with you because I want that or you give me palladium because I've built this Iron Man costume thing. I can't power it. Yeah, I need the palladium to make the arc reactor. Because that plays on things, but no. She just managed to do it. She managed to get a power source for it because apparently palladium you can find at the fucking dumpster. Anyway, the police then surround the place. They then escape. Car chase ensues. Riri Williams kills about 17 police officers in the pursuit. No fallback. She didn't stun them or anything. Yeah, she didn't knock them out. She just Obadiah Stane, the ironmonger from the first Iron Man film, would have kept them alive. He would have used his little kind of hearing thing that he's got. Yeah, he'd have kept them alive. They're all passed out, been bleeding from the ears, and all pale looking. But he would have kept them alive. No, she's a good guy, and she's murdered about them. But they're police officers. It's fine. They're not real people, apparently, which I didn't like. I'm like, oh god, yeah. So they then get to a bridge. They get attacked by the fish people because they're at a bridge with water, so the fish people can attack. So they attack. They capture Riri Williams and Letitia Wright or whatever her name is. I can't remember what the new Black Panther. Again, doesn't leave an impression on my mind because of the names not sticking in there. So they do that. They disappear off to not Atlantis, Telos, or whatever they call it. Yeah. So they disappear off to Telos. Michonne goes back to Wakanda. She's like, the Queen's like, kind of, not only is my son dead, you've lost my fucking daughter. You are dismissed. Which is quite right to say. And Michonne should have turned around and said, you can dismiss me, but first I'm going to find your daughter. I'm going to do everything I can to find your daughter. Which she should have done. No, they just dismiss her. Yeah. And then they go to Black Panther's squeeze from the previous thing. No fucking idea who she is. Yeah, she has the worst fucking disguise because it's like, oh, you're a spy. So the Queen goes to her, you're a spy, you can find this thing. So she goes to her in Haiti, where she's helping run this school, which is nice. That shows that she's a good person, which it didn't do with Riri Williams. Yeah, so she's helping set up the school, helping them being self-sufficient, being nice, teaching them, doing things, good things. Yeah, so you know that she's a good person. She says, go find her. Yeah, so she goes off to find her, puts on the set of glasses. It's like fucking Clark Kent, bad disguise. Yeah. Set of glasses, find some woman, finds out where they roughly are in like 5 minutes. It's like fucking just Googles, where can I find Namor the Submariner? Oh, it's here in Mexico. So she goes and finds them. Namor is telling his backstory about how his tribe were dying off, and they had a vision of some herb that was growing in the water, took the herb, and then they all became fish people, couldn't breathe. His mum was pregnant with him at the time. She became a fish person. And because he was part land, part thingy, he could do he's fucking Aquaman, right? Just Aquaman it, yeah. But here's the kicker, yeah. Aquaman, they show this massively advanced civilization under the water. You look at that civilization, and I can't remember his name. Is it Woo? Oh, not John Woo. The guy did the Fast and the Furious stuff.
Yeah.
I want to call him Tim. Yeah, I want to call him Tim Woo. It doesn't exist. Justin.
I think it is John Woo. Was it Justin
no,
Woo?
John Woo's hard boiled. He's that. Anyway, they go to the thingy, and where in Aquaman they filmed on green screen with cables, and then they redid their hair underwater. They just had extras underwater who looked really fucking awkward, who looked like they were holding their breaths, trying not to let any bubbles out, and it looked really shit. Just the people underwater bit. If you watch it, you look at it, and they clearly go, "Holding my breath because we're not supposed to live underwater." They didn't even make. This is the funny thing is when they come out of water, they're blue. When they're underwater, they're regular. Someone somewhere fucked up because they're supposed to be blue underwater. No, they're blue when they come out of water. So for fuck's sake, make your mind up. Anyway, he does that. He's nice to Watsamush, and he says, "Look, we need your help. Yeah, they'll come for us. We can fight them back. We can fight the land dwellers back, or whatever you want to call it." And she's like, "Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough." And then Watsamush turns up and saves her. So everyone's now freaking out because they've lost their thing, and they've turned around and said, "Oh, we're going to attack Wakanda." So the Wakanda Navy, which consists of a submarine, and they should have made jokes about this. This is the Wakanda Navy. This one submarine is the Wakanda Navy. Yeah. Now that would have been funny because they've only got the one boat. So they go out and they go, right, we're going to get him. And and Riri Williams says, "Look, I'll make my Iron Man costume, and if we keep him in a dehydration box, yeah, he'll dehydrate because when he goes in the water, he gets stronger." Okay, so he's absorbing oxygen from the water and from the air. And I'm sure that is actually in the comics. That's the most comic, probably but accurate thing. So they decide to trap him in a ship. So they lure him into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with the Wakanda Navy, which is the one submarine. Get all their people, and they go, right, we're ready for a rock. So they're sitting there sending out sound pulses to fuck up the things, to fuck up the people, to force them up to the surface. They get up to the surface and they start picking them off. Good tactic. I like the tactic. Good. Someone thought something through. They pick up Namor. They put him in this little force field, and being complete dumbasses. One, it reminds me of Stargate, where you've got those weird small pyramid ship things. They got the cargo ships.
Yeah.
It reminds me of one of them. They've even got the bit in the middle. It just doesn't go zoom, 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 and then zoom, 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 back up.
Yeah.
Very technical, that.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
So it's like one of them. So she gets him up there, and what he should have started doing is while he was there, he should have started, "Oh, I'm getting weaker," and then look and go, "There's the heaters." So start smashing the heaters, and then she should have gone, "I need to fight him." Yeah. Oh, she recreates the heart-shaped herb too. Not important.
Yes, I know that. I know that
So
she recreates it, takes it, and becomes the new Black Panther. It's just okay, whatever. Yeah. I understand why you didn't stay to the end credit scene, and it's all telly. But please carry on.
But then she then dries him out, and they fight on the beach, and he literally spears her right through almost the heart. Yeah, and somehow she survives. This is a thing. This is a running thing now with Disney characters being speared through the Xenophates. Yeah. So she should have just done something. They should have just done something different. They should have had it so she speared through the thing, yeah, and done like Tom Hardy in Star Trek Nemesis, yeah, and literally just have her pull herself through the spear, grab hold of him, and try to strangle him, and then press a button to then toast his back with the thrusters from the ship, yeah. That would have worked better, and then they could have had her in hospital recovering this, that, and the other. Which would have been fine. I could have lived with that.
Believable.
But yeah. Anyway, she manages to do it. She goes to kill him, and she doesn't kill him. And then I lost interest. And then I was like, okay, he's beaten. But I've just reached the conclusion that I can now get all the male characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and put the derivative female versions underneath them. Because there's even because you got Madam Hydra from whatever it is.
Yep.
Falcon and the Women Soldier.
Yeah, but she has been around, I believe. I think she is directly.
Yeah, but she's now the female Nick Fury.
Yes, I know.
Which is just like they've just replaced all the men in there, and it's like, well, if you don't want us, maybe I won't fucking watch your films. I only watched it because I didn't have time to go through all the bloody House of Dragon.
The problem is they've completely fucked it up. They've completely fucked the Marvel Cinematic up in one phase, and they keep doing this. They keep making it like these women impossibly strong. And don't get me wrong, when you have a female superhero who is strong, that's fine. But they are making everyday women impossibly strong, and they're making men subservient to them, and it is all done on purpose. And it's getting to the point where it's repetitive stuff, as Gary Beaker calls it, next Marvel product, and it's next Marvel product. These films aren't special anymore. These films aren't entertaining anymore. They're just chock full of intersectional politics, and it's just boring.
Right. I was reminded of something. Someone was, I can't remember who brought it up. It may have been Gary. It may have been the drinker. And they said about when the Marvel Studios came out, the reason it came out is that they wanted their Marvel characters to be comic book accurate. Yeah. Now, Disney subverted that because they went, oh, you know what we'll do? If we put shit characters in the comic books that we can have complete control over, we can use them and we can claim that it's comic book accurate.
Yeah.
But it's bollocks. It really is.
Yep. I mean, I've heard no good things about these movies. So yeah, I've heard nothing good about these movies.
It's it's dead. It's so fucking dead. I watched a twitching corpse today. The more I watch, the more damaging it is. I'll be honest with you. I went back. We watched Iron Man on Friday for like family film night. How fucking good is that film? That film is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got decent soundtrack. The character goes through struggles. He fucks up. Yeah, I said this to my son. Because when you write a character in a story and they fuck up and then they sort themselves out, it's really endearing. Yes. You like seeing that. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what film it is or who it is. You can be like Top Gun, yeah, or something along those lines. You see him fuck up, it's like kind of, but it makes them more personable because you fuck up. That's the one thing that's true. But they don't have this anymore, and it's really annoying because if you want, I can write you a good fucking female lead for something if you really want. Yeah, and I don't have to denigrate any men while I'm doing it. Yeah, I can make them fantastic, but you're not interested in that. You're too busy with the message. Yeah, Namor is shit character. I wish, and they're annoyed because you didn't kill him at the end. So annoyed. Just put the fucking
Namor. He's not even fucking. They changed his name. And that stupid cow that they keep showing, the Disney executive cow who starts speaking in Spanish, and all this. I'm just fed up with it. There's nothing good on Disney Plus other than Andor. If I didn't get it so cheap, I'd cancel it.
It's only the back catalogue because it's got like NCIS and stuff like that. So you've got old TV shows that you can watch. That's actually simple. But be honest with you, that's the reason people keep Netflix is it was the back catalogue. So things like Friends were one of the things that were watched probably more than their like Stranger Things, ironically.
Meh. No, my wife's going through Stranger Things now. She did Squid Games. I've made her watch Squid Games. And another season's coming. So she's done Squid Games and now she's on to Stranger Things. I think she's on season 2. So she's watching all these programs, and she has subtitles because she wants to watch them in English. She's a bit like you. She wants to watch them in the language so she can learn words. And
well, I do it because I like you miss some of the tones and bits. So the other thing I caught up with The Peripheral.
I'm about to. That is my next thing to catch up with.
What was the last one you watched?
The first 2 episodes.
You've only seen the first 2 episodes?
Yes, there's 5 now.
God, I'm almost at the end.
Well, there's another episode. There's 6 episodes, and then isn't there 2 more on top of that to come? Is it 6 episodes or 8?
I think it's more than that. I think it's 12.
Oh, okay.
I have to check. It's. I like the idea, but when you hear, Greg, so do you know about the 2 parallel universes? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got 2 parallel universes.
I figured that she is in a parallel universe back in time. That there was subtle differences, as in the sort of almost cyborg. Her brother's got like cybernetics in him. So I thought, right, okay, this has got to be a parallel universe because it's not set that far in the future. This has to. There's subtle differences. Something's obviously happened, like a catastrophe, be it a pandemic or something. I got that much, or a big war. So I felt that this was in a parallel universe already.
Okay, so what it is there's 2 universes. One universe is ahead time-wise than the other. So what they're doing is they call the universe that's behind, they call it the stub, which is a shit name for it, yeah. Anyway, the universe that is in front is more technologically advanced, but they had to endure a set of apocalypses, which they refer to as the jackpot. Really shit name, yeah. So they had like several apocalypses, one after the other. So it's like 10 years, and then another 10 years, another one happened, and it pretty much decimated all of humanity. And the people that you see in London are like constructs, like holograms and stuff, like AR, augmented reality. So they explain that, but this is my theory: is that they're the ones from the prime, what they believe is the prime timeline, are experimenting on the stub, which is the one where the girl is. Yeah, I think that there's another timeline above them, which is experimenting on them, and that's how they got the jackpot, because they were like, we could try these different apocalypses and see what happens with all these people. So I think there may be. I hope there is, but I've been told that William Gibson is not a great writer, so it might not be bright enough to put that.
Chato's video.
Yes, it was the first. I love hearing that. I don't like the writer. That's the criticism. I don't like the writer. I don't like his books. I'm not sure about this TV show. That is more. What do you call it?
Honest.
It's more honest than what we're getting at the moment. I know we have all the woke shit and all that crap, but actually criticizing someone on a creative endeavor level is far more interesting than saying, "Oh, it's woke."
Yes,
the black woman in charge of the RI or whatever they call it. She gets it really good too. It made put a big fucking grin on my face when she copped it.
I quite like her as an actress. I don't know.
She's one of those poor ladies that will always play the villain.
Well, she's not always.
She might be a lovely person.
She played the first time I saw her. The first time I remember her was when the old white guy regenerated into a young black woman in Doctor Who, and I went, "Oh dear, here we go." That wasn't thought of much, was it, BBC?
Yes.
and that was the first time I saw her. Then she was in Years and Years, and I thought she was genuinely good as the wife in that. She was in the Apple Foundation TV program, and I thought she was quite good in that. So again, I've seen her in a few things, and I've enjoyed her in them. There's something about her I quite like her as an actress. She's very English. She is very English.
Oh, she's even like that kind of passive aggressive thing. Yes.
I do.
So, yeah, it's
but I will catch up on it, so we can have a good old chinwag about that next week. They've announced the Doctor Who companion, and it's a girl from Coronation Street.
Okay, so it's not transgender person.
No, it's not. No, she's only Rose in the 3-parter, which is what I thought. So no, it is, you know, it's Doctor and female companion. This could be quite interesting.
I'm just, a part of me is like, kind of, I've been burnt so bad. I have been burnt so bad. Part of me is like, what do I do?
I want to see Tennant back. I like to see Catherine Tate back. I'm hoping it's going to be good. It might be bad, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. He's quite a competent writer. There's just too much of his sort of politics in there. But he's always put his politics in. I mean, you know, fucking second season of Torchwood, every alien running around Cardiff was bloody gay. So it's like, but his competent writing kind of masked the politics. But look, he's always written gay characters. He's always done that. He had gay characters in the whole of his run in Doctor Who. Was his run the best? Look, I having watched Clever Dick Studios' Matt Smith thing, that first season of Matt Smith, I appreciate on a whole new level. And it is probably the best season of Doctor Who overall. But there is no argument that it kind of went downhill from there. And I know that you love Stephen Moffat, but seriously, everything I've seen him write recently has been woke as shit, right? And it might not be him, but everything I have seen him, Dracula, that fucking thing with David Tennant in it, I'm sorry, I just dislike that. Tried to watch it again, and I just don't like it. The only thing I can watch is Stanley Tucci, and only because of the actor, not because of the writing. I just think the Stanley Tucci could act a turd, and he'd still do a good job of it. I don't know. I worry about Mr. Moffat. I really do. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. But
right, when it comes to Moffat, I'm hoping he gets to break away and be like the guy who did Devil's Hour.
He did, and he wrote The Time Traveler's Wife, and even that was bloody stupid.
But you have to understand, he's converting someone else's work. It's not his work.
No, I've seen the original film, and that wasn't. and the novel isn't either. I don't know. I think he's getting caught up in all this bloody stupid stuff that's going on at the moment. I think he's drunk the BBC secret sauce. But I don't know. You're right about Doctor Who. You're right to be cautious of it. I don't blame you. I'm enjoying Andor, but Andor comes to a close next week. And I suppose I'm running out of things to watch at the moment. I'm going to watch this German thing because Dark was quite good. Twisted as fuck, but it was quite good. So I am going to watch that. But a lot of things that I have sort of been watching just for fucking ticking me over are all coming to an end. So I don't know. Amazon, I know that Amazon's bringing stuff out, but I still refuse to renew my Prime account. But there are series I kind of want to support. So that's the only problem. I have this real sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't want to sign up to Prime, but I kind of like the Jack Ryan series. I really like the Jack Reacher series. So I kind of want to give those official fucking viewing figures so that, they can make more seasons of that stuff because that stuff's genuinely good. but at the same time, fuck you on the Lord of the Rings. I mean, fuck, double fuck you on Lord of the Rings.
That's mine. I'm gonna get a T-shirt with double fuck on.
Yeah, and I'm using it to adequately express my feelings towards them for Lord of the Rings. Yes, and I would really like to not have those, if you know what I mean. YouTube, have we seen? Apparently, Hot Girls Here free.
Hot Girls
YouTube,
Here free.
Have you not seen the chat?
Oh, they let. No.
How, YouTube, are these getting through? Something weird is going on.
YouTube's pretty much under attack constantly. We'll leave Hot Girls alone, unless you want to kick them from chat.
I was trying to, but I don't know how to do it from the sorry, podcasts listeners. I don't quite know how to do it from the YouTube. I've got to go and do it on YouTube, but my browser's decided to completely lock up.
Oh, well,
it's not actually showing on the stream. It's just showing up in our chat. Never mind.
That's fine.
I watched I started watching, and this is pure trash. I don't suggest you watch it, but I had to watch it just to see it through to the end. Of course, I have to wait for the last bit, and I watched Manifest. I know that Nigel was watching that as well. That Netflix kind of saved that for one more season. It is trash. I'm not telling you that but at least this kind of has an ending, unlike Lost. You kind of know where this is going.
Okay.
So at least this is going to have a ending, even if it is just trashy TV. So I've caught up on that. So yeah, I'm watching Dark 2, and I've just got a sneaking suspicion. I would love it if they somehow sneak in that this is a sequel. I was thinking about that today. If you wrote like this amazingly popular TV thing, and then you from the writers of this, and you release something that looks entirely different, right? And then sneak in right at the end that it's a sequel. How cool would that be? But the fact that the captain's turned up and it's like old Jonas looking like old Jonas. If they suddenly turn around at the end, call him Jonas, I'll be like, fuck me, that's awesome.
Nobody have sex, you're guaranteed to get pregnant. That's what you want, then carry on.
I think they're just obviously they like the actor, but it would be kind of cool if somebody then suddenly referred to him as Jonas. That would be like, whoa, that's awesome. But yes, anyway, I'm only halfway through that episode, but dude, you got to catch up on Andor. Have you watched House of Dragon yet? Because
no, I haven't watched House of Dragon yet. That's one of the reasons I saw Wakanda this morning, because it was 2 hours opposed to the 6 hours of House of Dragon I need to watch.
10 hours.
10 hours. No, I've already watched 2.
Oh, you've watched
2 hours worth?
Oh, you've watched 2.
I've watched 2.
So it's the third. No, it's the third episode where Matt Smith goes all fucking kamikaze on the crab things, which is kind of fucking awesome. Yeah, no, that bit where he fucking takes them on is pretty good. But that series is all Matt Smith. So yeah. Netflix, there's been a few good things recently on it, but again, you're right that Netflix is really still sort of older TV. Although we're going to get season 5 of Stranger Things that started shooting, so we'll get that at some point next year. That is now guaranteed.
Yes. Hopefully they'll finish it off well, because that'll be the last one, won't it?
The rumors are that Lord of the Rings has halted filming. I am not shocked.
Yeah, but there's rumors that they're redoing the whole thing.
Oh, yes,
the lights have gone off.
My lights have gone off. You know why that is? Thank you. Because this damn thing's got a sensor in, and it's meant to sense when I'm not in the room. Yes. Okay. So, but I need to have the one where it turns them off. Probably not on. But anyway.
Yeah, no. There's rumors that they're redoing the whole Lord of the Rings, and I hope it's Jeff Bezos' son that has just gone to him and turned around and goes, "Dad, that was shit," and he's gone, You're right. I think that the first problem is you need not to have anything to do with J.J. Abrams and his ilk, because all they do is they ruin your thing and take the money and run. That's it. They just literally they take the money and run. They don't give a shit. And it was, I think, one of the great examples is when did you ever, the thing with Quentin Tarantino, where we was talking to him, and he was saying about, hey, I want to do a film with Star Trek, but I don't get what you did with the timeline. To which he was, I don't get what we did with the timeline. No one understands. No one really cares. Just do what if you fucking want. And it's like, well, clearly he doesn't understand. There are rules in Star Trek, and when you follow, it's like there's rules in Star Trek. There's rules in Stargate, Farscape, Doctor Who. If you pay attention, as long as you don't break those rules, everything's fine. It's great because some things like Stargate, they get the rules and they go, oh, we can do this and we can do this and then we can do this and then because of that we can do that and that. So the great one is the one where they find a black hole. Yeah, and they dial a black hole by accident. Yeah, and it's like, shit, we dialed a black hole. We need to turn it off. Yeah, because 38 minutes for it to turn off by itself plus black hole, the planet could get sucked through the Stargate. And it's like, oh my god. And then later on, they then use that. They dial the black hole thingy and they drop the Stargate into a star so it can destroy the star. And you're like, well done. That's really clever. I like that. Yeah. And things like that. And it's because they were playing with inside their own rules.
You're right.
And when you stop playing those rules, that's when things go wrong.
But you're reminding me of something that this week, because obviously, a few weeks ago, we got the news that Henry Cavill was coming back as Superman. But he gave an interview, and that interview was all telling, right? And I'm not surprised he's left The Witcher, because he says, if I'm making something from source text, I'm a real guy for honoring that source text, right?
Yes.
He was going, this is why I wasn't that interested in doing Superman. Look, those movies, people like them, but they weren't like the source text. And he hinted at the same about The Witcher. He said, people got really annoyed with me because I said that this is not in the text. This actor, this character, that's not his motivation. So when he said all this and he was highly critical, I thought, well, this is very interesting. So, the fact that he's coming back to play Superman, in some ways, having said what he said, which is, hey, Biffa, the fact that he's coming back to this role gives me hope. The fact that the way Warner Brothers are, my only regret throughout all of this is I was kind of looking forward to seeing Keaton back on screen as Batman in some form. And I don't think we're going to get to see that in any form. And it's a shame.
They might find a way.
Well, they did say we're getting rid of all the multiple Batmans. And I think that was a hint at we're not going to show you Keaton, that is my only marginal criticism, that you've got, you need to understand just how popular his Batman was. And, he is the kind of the guy that birthed the gothic Batman that we know today, in film form. And it would have just been lovely to see him back. But on the other hand, these two guys at the top, they know what the fuck they're doing. The Peacemaker series was good. And these guys know what they're doing. There's a trailer
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy. Oh, man, that was not good when I heard about Kevin Conroy passing.
Yes, I know.
That's not good.
It's Batman on screen, didn't he? Even if it was a bit quasi, but it
was a bit shit. But yeah, it was. He said that his favorite role was actually Batman Arkham Asylum, not Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Sorry, that was it. The last one, Arkham Knight, because he had the Joker personality kind of in his head, which he was arguing with, which he spoke to Mark Hamill, and they kind of bounced off each other when they were recording it. And I like that because I'll be honest with you, the Arkham Knight Batman's quite interesting, especially because it kind of comes to an end and whatnot. So it's like you feel like all the Batman stuff's happened, but the Arkham bits are stuck out over the top. That was good. I like that.
But right, it is a shame. But The one thing I have noticed, though, on Disney Plus is, a year ago, before we got the DC announcement, they were making a big deal at Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and the Christmas special that's coming up, right? Have you noticed, like, there has been a couple of trailers, but they're not pushing it. They're just really bitchy, aren't they? James Gunn's gone to DC, where he's appreciated, I might point out, right? And he's going to be probably a much better Kevin Feige figure than Kevin Feige is at the moment. But I have to admit, I've seen the trailer to the Christmas special, and it looks kind of good. I kind of like the idea of what's his face. Tony, I've already got Kevin Bacon in it. What's his face? What's the name? The blue guy. I've forgotten his name. Blue guy and weird thingy girl turn up to Kevin Bacon's house, and they literally kidnap the real Kevin Bacon as a Christmas gift for Star-Lord. And there's this bit where they're chasing him down the street going, "Come back, Kevin!" And Kevin's going, what the fuck? He's running away. And I was like, actually, this looks kind of funny. This does genuinely look quite funny.
Hold on a second. Let's watch it. Let's have a look at it.
It does kind of look quite funny.
Let me just let me get the share.
Is it I think there's a behind the scenes one, and then there's the actual trailer for it.
Let's see, screen, Brave tab, audio. There we go. So let's pop that on there. Let's make that there. Let's have a look at this. What the thing is this? So
special.
I'm going to move it like that
because it's special.
Yes. Here we go. Let's have a look.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth, it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone. Maybe if we go to Earth for a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy. Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
But your voice is small and mousy. I think maybe he didn't hear you. You're coming with us. That's a Christmas present. I'm Groot.
It's kind of a bit meta, but it does look kind of funny.
Oh, that looks entertaining. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think that looks like yeah. I think I'm going to watch that.
I thought, oh shit, I'm going to actually watch a Marvel Disney Plus program because this is the first time I've gone. That actually looks quite good.
It's because it's going to be. It's not going to be Kevin Feige. It's going to be James Gunn.
Yeah.
And it's going to show him up, isn't it? They're gonna watch that, and everyone's going, well, all these other Disney things Marvel things didn't do well, but the Christmas special Guardians of the Galaxy did well.
Here's the thing: next year, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's going to do really well. It's going to be the first Marvel movie that's done really well since Spider-Man. It won't beat Spider-Man 3, I don't think, but it will do pretty well, right? But now Sony have announced they are doing a TV Spider-Verse, and it looks like they're doing it properly, but might be wrong. There is also rumors, pretty strong rumors, that the Avengers Kang movie has signed Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield. That they're both going to appear in it because Kang, multiple universes. That does kind of make sense, but I think I don't know if I want to see that happen because Spider-Man 3 was kind of so good that but then we've got the news this week that what's his face has signed a new 3-film deal with Sony and Disney. So Spider-Man 4 is happening. So
it's the only ones that anyone's going to be interested in, and Sony will be sitting there going, money, money, money.
I have to admit,
I want to see it.
I want to see the sequel to Spider-Man 3. I kind of like where Spider-Man 3 left off. I don't think you can top that, but if you go down the route that you were kind of heading down, I think it will be a good movie. It's not going to be as good as Spider-Man 3. That fucking film is so goddamn good.
I don't. You can do, but like the Spider-Man game, yeah, that Spider-Man game, the story in that game with Mr. Negative,
yeah,
that game, that's worthy of a film.
The sequel to that game is what is going to make me buy a PS5. It is what is going to make me part with a shitload of cash, because that's how much they cost now. No, after 2 years, PlayStation's come down. Oh no, this thing's gone up, right? And they're still scalpers. 2 fucking years on, Sony. Just make some PS5s. Open a fucking factory in Mexico, for fuck's sake. Anyway, I will be buying it for that game or the Jedi Fallen Order sequel, whichever one comes first. Will be buying a PS5 for those, because those 2 games I fucking love. How is it the best thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Andor, but Fallen Order still the best fucking Star Wars under Disney. I fucking love the story to that game. It's so good.
Yeah, it's because it's got some people who did the Uncharted trilogy. Have you played the Uncharted games?
Yeah, I've started to, but I my PS4 is kind of giving up the ghost. I did download that pack that you guys told me to, but my PS4 is kind of fucked. So I've kind of put it away for now, and I'm sort of like, I will come back to them, but I'll wait for I'll wait when I'm gonna go out and buy a PS5. I will do it, but I'm not doing it yet because there's nothing like it's that Spider-Man 2 game is going to be the fucking buy me. Oh yes, I'm going to buy you for that game. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
no, that's if they literally just do the same level of game as they did for that first one that I played, it's going to be fun. The Miles Morales one, which was an extended add-on, was fantastic. I really enjoyed the crap out of that.
But that's how you do diversity, because the character, it worked. It felt natural as to what happened. And I genuinely quite like Miles Morales. I like Into the Spider-Verse. I like the character of Miles Morales, because what they didn't do was just make a black Spider-Man. They gave him a character. They gave him a backstory. They wrote him to be believable. Yeah, okay, they were doing Black Spider-Man, but they bothered to actually give him his own character. They didn't just recast Peter Parker as black. They at least wrote a fucking decent character. And that's what I like about the game. The game did it again really, really well. And you like the character in the games and Into the Spider-Verse. Looking forward to Into the Spider-Verse 2. Because I enjoyed the shit out of the first movie. Even with the sort of weird animation, I still love that movie. It's again one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. It won't beat Spider-Man 3, but that's because Spider-Man 3 just fixed everything I ever had wrong with those Spider movies. That's why, to me, it's so fucking good.
I think that's where Sony kind of intervened. They went, look, the deal's coming to an end. We said that we would have it so there's a chance you can cross back over into our universe. And then they were like, well, let's see how it goes. And it went really well. And they went, money. But hey.
If Sony run away and do another Andrew Garfield film, I'll watch it, but they have to do it right.
Oh, they could do an Andrew Garfield. They could do a Peter Maguire. Paul Maguire. He was my friend at first school.
When those 3 actors were on the screen together, again, it was just, oh God, it was so good. It just was. It's nearly a year ago. I can't get over it. It's nearly a year ago I went to see it to the cinema, but it's one of the only films that's genuinely nearly brought me to tears. It was so damn good. I was so fucking happy with that film.
Did you hear that Charlie Cox did a lovely tribute to Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the 3rd best Spider-Man. I love that.
I heard the
really
roast.
Love that.
I heard the roast, but it was very clever, and it was a joke, but it was a clever joke. It's third best fan.
It was a clever joke.
All
right, I'm looking forward to Callisto Protocol, which will be out in 30 about 13 days, 12 days, depending.
Oh, space fans, right? It's happening around about 7 o'clock, I think, my time tomorrow, so probably about midday. But we are getting a human capable spaceship flying around the moon. And
is that the Artemis one?
Yes, I watched the fucking launch live. That was something else. Fuck me, Gareth, it lit up the sky. And I mean, it looked like daylight. There was one guy filming it. I was watching like multiple streams. I had like streams up all over the place. It looked like daylight suddenly happened. I mean, fuck, was that was something.
That capsule's big enough to fit a small car in.
I know.
Which is in comparison to the one that actually took them to the moon. That's a big ass capsule, which is good.
But they've had a camera that they've streamed to several times when it's not got the sun directly on it and showing the Earth getting further and further away. It's been just epic.
I find it funny because the Americans are in a space race with the Chinese, and I haven't seen anything actually from the Chinese. And when I say actual, I mean actual stuff. I've seen lots of like CGI stuff. I've seen a few photos, but nothing like this is the spaceship.
They've got their space station. They've got their space station up there. That is up there. We know that's up there.
Yeah, but to the moon.
To the moon. Yeah, that's just true. But look, let's lead the. If they push us into the space race, more the better. Space races are cool. Although SpaceX has kind of got to do something about blowing up their launch pad, which they kind of did the other day. So I am genuinely concerned that people are thinking, oh, we're going to see the full 33 static engine fire, but they did a 14 static engine fire and there were bits of fucking concrete flying everywhere. So, and that was half the power.
Good. It's a good engine. That's a good engine. It's doing half
the power.
Just a quick one, because Bilford's saying he's waiting for the PS5 Slim. They haven't announced it, but they always make them. Yes, there'll be a PS5 Slim,
but there probably will be. But here's the thing: I'm not going to say 100% because usually by this point in time, and certainly with the PS4, it was a few bob cheaper. This thing's fucking £100 more, and that's Sony scalping it. So I mean, after 2 years, are you seriously telling me there's that much demand? If you believe how many Sony has sold, are you seriously telling me that there is that much demand? Because something doesn't add up.
Still that, yeah. The scalpers are there. That's how you know that demand is there. That's the thing. Actual scalpers, not Sony. The Sony of how can I put it? They're trying their luck. So Microsoft's strategy goes like this: they want your money via Games Pass. Yeah. That's why they want your money from. They're not interested in getting off the console. Sony are interested in getting money everywhere. That's their strategy. Every console they sell now, since the PS3, when they sell the PS3, I think they're losing like $60 on each PS3. But now the PS4 was the one that made. Ironically, I think it made about $10 on each PS4 after all the deductions and bits.
They were losing $60 on each PS3, but they were making a shit ton of money on Blu-ray. That's why they put like a 500 quid Blu-ray player components in there. And that's why the PS3 was a fucking good Blu-ray player, which it was. And but the PS5 is now, I mean, the scalpers are selling it at nearly 800 quid here still. I mean, that Horizon New Dawn box is fucking 800 quid. With the disc edition, it's just fucking mental.
Just like to point out, my PS5 is fixed, and I can now watch fucking Blu-rays and play Cyberpunk. Finally.
Oh, is Cyberpunk out on the PS5?
No, I got the PS4 version of it, but they give you a free PS5 version. So I want to play it on the PS5. I've also got. It's ironic because I've also got it on my Xbox too. But I'll get ready to play that when I get a chance. Excuse me. I think I'm knackered. I've had a very long day. I've been a good boy. I hit my health goals, and then I had a burger.
I wasn't going to point that
Sunday's
out. You've done this 30-minute row, and then you sit there stuffing your burger.
And then I had a burger.
I did fucking 5 hours of almost back-to-back lessons, and I went and cycled 12k. So Yeah, and that's the first time I've been on the bike in a very fucking long time, so I am fucking feeling it. So
yeah. No, it's good to do that. It helps clear out the old brain cobwebs. Also, my Stadia games, because I used Stadia. I put my hand up and I bought some Stadia games. I've been refunded, so I've got an extra. I've got like an extra 10. I got an extra 20 quid in my Google Store credit.
Very nice.
So yeah, because they refunded me. It's like, here you go, have your money back for. I think I got Tomb Raider because I got Tomb Raider for like £3 at the time, and Doom 64 and something else. I can't remember what the other thing is, but they refunded it all, which is nice.
But yeah,
but if you ever launch it, if you ever launch a games console, Phil Harrison, former Sony, former Atari, former Xbox One, are you seeing a pattern? Former Stadia, don't have him on your team. He's a nice guy, but don't have him on your team. He's just fucking unlucky.
well, right. So you have homework, and I have homework. I'll catch up on the peripheral. You catch up on Andor because it's the final episode next week.
I got to do Andor and House of Dragon. But see, the thing is House of Dragon is swords and sorcery, and I like science fiction.
Do Andor. Do catch up on Andor.
I'll do Andor. I'll do Andor, and I'll see if I can do that thing that you need to catch up on the peripheral, because I'd like to talk to you about it.
Yes,
because there's some bits.
So, I will be up on that by week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for those listening on the podcast. And we will catch you in the next podcast. Thank you very much. And wave like it's a 1990s game show.
Blankety blank. I've just won the checkbook. Bye. And pen. Bye.